I couldn't stop reading it. It's like, once you start, it's like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, you know? Hi, wonderful people, and welcome back to my channel, Book Craze with Giselle. Guys, you know what? I reached 100 subscribers and I'm super excited to thank everyone who subscribed. And if you have not, what are you waiting for? Today, I'm going to talk about 3 books that I read that totally met my expectations. Like, when I saw these books and I read the synopsis, I'm like, I'm going to enjoy it. And I did, and I gave all these books 4 stars. They are super exciting, adventurous, funny, hilarious. They were all written well by these authors and it was just good. It was just good. So let's get into this video. First up, we have Bloody Union, written by Brook. Now, I was actually supposed to put this in my TBR, but somehow I forgot to mention it. I don't know why, but you know, things happen. But anywho, I started reading this book at the beginning of February, and let me just tell you, it was bloody. It was bloody. It was good. It had everything in it. It is a mafia romance, and it follows Dante and McKenna. Now, first up, McKenna is a badass, right? Like, when you read a mafia romance, most times you get these sweet, lovable women who are groomed from childhood to become like wives of underbosses and captains, and they are just solely responsible for bearing children, right? That's their role. But McKenna, baby, McKenna wasn't like that. McKenna run things. She was a boss. She is a boss, and she's a bad-ass bitch boss. She's that good. Like, McKenna, at a young age, something tragic happened to her. I don't want to give any spoilers because this book came out in January last month. But yeah, so something happened to her and she was sent away to live with her grandfather and her uncle. And she was trained, baby. She was trained to run the shit. She was trained to kill, to assassinate, you name it, she was trained to do it. And when she came back to the US to live with her parents, she never told her siblings or her dad anything about her role, but she controlled the whole East Coast. She was running that and they had no idea. But anyhow, back to present time. McKenna and Dante, they get engaged. She's engaged to this man at the age of 14. She gets engaged to Dante, and then when she turns like 19 or so, the wedding happens, and it's a bloody wedding. You have persons, you know, dying, everyone's getting shot as soon as they say I do, and they were about to kiss. That was it. All hell broke loose. It's a fast-paced book. It left me wanting more though, but it just didn't take away from it. But it had me wanting more of Dante and McKenna, because McKenna was just the shit. She was just like, she was good. I loved the heroine and I liked the hero. It was an instant love kind of story between McKenna and Dante, but it still didn't take away from the book. McKenna knew exactly what she was getting into when she got married to Dante. She already knew what his role was. She already knew, and she already had plans as to what they were going to do, and which is all fine. So you love McKenna, and like Dante wasn't expecting what he got from McKenna, and that just made him fall in love with her, because he was expecting this quiet, meek woman, but no, he got someone who was equal or even surpassed him. I would say she surpassed him in terms of, you know, the mafia and just the control and the power that she has. Although no one knows it was her that was controlling everything, but when she came out, they all had respect for her. And I'm like, you can't help but love someone like that. So I'm really excited for part 2 in this series. It is going to follow characters mentioned in Bloody Union. I can't wait to hear about Danny and Melissa. They were mentioned in the first book in Bloody Union, and they're having their own book because Danny didn't know how to keep it in his pants, right? He didn't know how to keep it in his pants, and he gets some buddy pick-me somebody child pregnant and he had to marry her. So, but that is really funny anyhow. This book is exactly what I expected when I saw the cover, but I was expecting like more gruesomeness, you know. I was expecting more murders to take place. I was expecting like gunplay. I was expecting more violence, but it was still good. It was still good, and it was worth that 4 stars. And I'm like, Summers, I'm like, Brook, you did a phenomenal job writing this book. It was a page turner from the beginning. I couldn't stop reading it. It's like, once you start, it's like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, you know. Next up, we have Bad Husband, written by Shey Stahl. And let me tell you, this was in my January TBR, and I read it, and it was good. It was good. It was exactly what I expected in this book. I got everything that I anticipated. The synopsis of this book was really point on, and from the first page you were hooked, right? The first page, because Reilly started off his day like any other day. He woke up, you know, everything was good. He banged his wife, and then he goes to work. On work, he receives this notice to dissolve his marriage, and he's trying to figure out what this has to be some sort of joke. And he spends his entire day trying to contact his wife to figure out like what the hell is going on, right? And throughout this book, you see this man struggling to figure out what is going on, like what did I do? And you see him trying to fix his marriage because he doesn't want to give it up. He loves his wife, he loves his family, and he works, like he continuously works in terms of trying to fix this. But this man was really a bad husband. He didn't know nothing. He didn't know where his children went to school. He didn't know what extracurricular activities they were involved in. He didn't know anything, right? He would leave before they go to school and go to daycare, and when he got back, they were already in bed. So he practically did not see his children unless it was Sunday when he was home over the weekend, or maybe on a holiday or something like that. But he never really saw them. He didn't really have a relationship with his sons, and his sons would call him by his first name. They didn't call him dad or anything. He totally was not involved in his marriage and involved in the family. So you see him just trying to build relationship with his kids, just trying to figure out what they like, spending time with them. And it was just like, it was really a sweet, funny read. Like, Reilly he's a hilarious man. He's a hilarious man. The kind of things that comes out of this man's mouth, you're like, hey, you're probably not going to laugh falling out of the chair, but you're definitely going to laugh. And it did have some sobering moments in this book where you felt for this man and for his wife, because she was dealing with this for a number of years. She was putting up with this for quite a while, and she reached a point where she did it. But there's a twist. I'm not going to tell you the twist, but there is a twist. And let me just say that, you know, when something have a backlash, but something came back to bite her in her ass. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, because of what she did. Like, this man, he really tried. At one point in time, I was like, Madison, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? Like, the man trying, you're not even, you know, giving him some encouragement, nothing. She's like, that, no, it's not good enough. But, but yeah, it was a really great book. You should definitely read it. You should definitely read it if you want a very heart-wrenching, compelling story. Yes, it is sweet, because a husband trying to win back his wife. Yes, there's always something funny about it, something lovable about it, because it makes this man remember why he fell in love with this woman in the first place. So yes, it is very compelling. There is a twist in the story. You are going to love it. You are probably going to shed a tear or two, but it is just such a great book. It is well written, and I'm definitely going to read more books by this author. Was it as sizzling and heated as I like my books to be? No. but the story was, it just sucks you in and you're like, I need more, I need more, I need more. But anyway, lastly, I just want to come on here and talk about another book that met my expectations, and it was written by Cora, Reilly, and it is Sweet Temptations. Babe, Sweet Temptations lived up to my expectation. It was exactly Sweet Temptation. It is like a spin-off from her Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles, because you did read about like other characters, mainly Luca, that has his own book, Bound by Honor. This book starts off with drama. This book, again, it sucks you in from the first page. Like, I love those books because you know why? You know you're going to get something. You know you're going to get something with substance. You know you're going to get something like super excited. So from like the first chapter, you hear about, ooh, this man walked in to discover that his wife committed suicide, and he's part of the mafia. He's an underboss, and he walks in to his wife, and he's there with 2 young children. One, his son is like 2 years, and then his daughter is a couple of months. And this man, who's an underboss, has to take care of his kids, plus run the state that he's responsible for. Like, it was a lot. And after his wife was buried, he was encouraged to remarry. And you know, he had persons coming at him saying, hey, you should marry this one, hey, you should marry that one. But he was very particular. And he decided on this girl that was 17. She was about to turn 18 in a few months. She was trained for this, and he felt it would be a good fit. However, there was an age gap. So yes, it is an age gap story. Cassio was 13 years older than Julia. Yes. But you know what? It was good. It was good because Julia, she's like this sweet, loving, caring person. She's also responsible. She's exactly what you expect from a mafia wife. And although she was young, she really wanted to make it work. Like, she knew what it took to make a marriage work. Whereas Cassio, it was like, here what, yes, I married you, I performed my duties, but I really need you to take care of my children, and I need you to run this household. That is all he wanted from Julia. Plain and simple, that's all he wanted. He did not expect someone that would fight for his attention, someone that would truly come to care about his children, care about him, and care about this dog. And let me tell you, it has a twist. Because there's always a reason why someone commits suicide. I'm not going to, you know, say any spoilers, but when you read about that twist, you're like, ooh, like, how this man didn't kill this woman. I'm going to say no more. I'm not going to say any more about that. But yes, it's exactly what I expected. It was a really nice, sweet, enjoyable, steamy read. Out of all 3 books, this is the steamiest. This is the wet one in the bunch. This one here, Sweet Temptation, is the wet one out of all 3. It was just really good. It was really good. I don't know about you, but Sweet Temptation, like, you always know what to get from Cora Reilly's book. Like, you always know what to get from that book. And it did not let me down. I wasn't disappointed. I was like, yeah. Yes, it didn't have any like gunplay and stuff like that. It didn't have like any fighting, any action, any violence, but it was Sweet Temptation. So what else did you expect? It was a really nice romance story. You need to read it. You need to read this one. As a matter of fact, you need to read all 3. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you really enjoyed this one. These books are all great in my opinion. They met all my expectations. They ticked off all my box. Have you read any of these books? Are they on your TBR list? What was your opinion when you read these books? Were they similar to mine? Or were they completely different? Were you disappointed, whereas I was like ecstatic when I completed reading these books? You know, at the end of the day, we all have different opinions, and I would love to hear some of yours. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell. Oh yeah, and don't forget to share. See you when I drop another video.